Okay, as you can see here, I've just purchased emini S&P at 1558.25, and one of the main reasons here, well, let's just take a look at this market here this morning. By the way, this is Tuesday morning, April the 16th, just after 11 o'clock Eastern Time. The market, this is the overnight high right here at 59.75. The target we have up here is at 63.25, and so you know, the market had that big sell-off yesterday. It had virtually no follow-through overnight, and then it's been bought up during the overnight sessions, and you know, it's had a pretty good rally. Didn't quite make it to that next level of resistance at 63 overnight, just making it to 59.75. But as you can see, when the market did open here, it you know, had a little bit of a back off, but then it had one of what we call our high velocity moves, and it did have some follow through, as you can see here. Then it backed off down to the low of that area and then tested the high without making a new high. But then it did come down and make a new low. It tried to bounce, it came back up to approximately the overnight high, and then backed off and made some new lows here. So the reason that I really feel that this is a good buy right here is that the market has come up and tested this resistance, and you can see when it did, after trading down below here, it had a nice what we call level 1 buying bar, and its low got taken out. But you can see when its low did get taken out by this level 2 selling bar right here, it was immediately rejected, and then came back up above that this red zone here, which is really where this good buying started, right in here. So the thinking right now is that the market's having a very difficult time trying to go lower, and is likely going to want to come up and at least test onto this overnight high, although I'm not certainly considering that as a real target. I'm looking more up here in the 63 area. So my first objective on this trade, seeing as we're long here from 58.25, is really the high of the day. So what I will do is I'm going to go ahead and I think I will exit 1/2 of the position here, just a little bit below the high of the day. Let's say a couple ticks below the high of the day. That'll give us about a 2.5 point profit. So I'm going to go ahead and sell 4 there.
Order pending.
And then the next thing I want to do is to see if it can get back up and test this 63 area. And if it can do that, then you know, that's great. It might not do any more than that. So as a result, I'm going to sell 1/4 of my position, a couple of ticks below there at 62.75. So I'm going to put that
order pending.
So I've got my orders. I'm now long the trade. I think I've got good reasons why I should be long, you know, we're just going to see how this unfolds. So we haven't been in this trade too long. Once it, by the way, I do need to put my stop in here. I haven't done that yet. We'll go ahead, and I think I'll place my stop right here at 56. So we'll just put in a sell stop there at 56 for right.
Order pending.
I do want to adjust my stops accordingly, or as it can go ahead and hopefully continue to rally here. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to move this stop up. We've already moved a 1.5, so I'm going to move this stop just under that last little dip right there. I'm just going to go ahead and move it right into there. So that's so now my stop is at 1557.25, so that's just a point below where I've entered here. So that and we'll just hopefully let the market run. Now we've just tested the overnight high, as I was mentioning. That was at 59.75, so we just tested onto that right here, and it looks like it's got a bit of strength, and hopefully this market can keep moving here. Whoops, and give us an opportunity to hit this first objective here at 60.75. I might be trying to cut this a little too fine. I mean, the high of the day is at 61 and a quarter. So in theory, when I say should go up there and hit that. Okay, there we go. We've hit it now. And hopefully we can get a fill on that and exit that first half of the position for a 2.5 point gain. Ahead and adjust the stop for the remainder of the position. As a matter of fact, now that we've gone up and hit that, I'm going to go ahead and adjust the stop to break even anyway, even though we haven't yet been filled. It's looking pretty good. So at least for now, we've got a break-even stop in here on the trade. This little bar down here I really found to be interesting, which has really helped me to get into the trade, because when a market is having a difficult time going one direction, and then very shortly thereafter you get another indication of that same idea. In other words, it's having a difficult time going lower. That's where this bar here came in. So this was a bar, as I was mentioning earlier, that came in after we had this level 1 buying bar back up into sort of the comfort zone and got rejected. And then it came back down and tested into an area where the market had tried to sell off, and it got rejected very quickly. You can see that, for example, this bar right here, this level, that's a level 1 selling bar. You can see that it had its high taken out immediately. You can see the high on that bar right here. So that's what we call excess or rejection of lower prices. And whenever you've got something like that, it's it's telling you that the fairly aggressive buyer has come in. In this case, buyer has come in because it's rejected the lower prices. And then when the market came up here and took out this bar's high, that's when I went ahead and placed the order just a tick below there, one tick above this support zone, and was able to get long at 58.25. So just wanted to talk about that for a minute. Now we've just formed another high velocity move, as you can see right here. Its low is right at our low, or right at our entry, I should say, which should be a good support area, and hopefully not come down and take it out. So we'll just leave that for now, and as far as our stop goes, and see if we can get filled on the upside here at that first objective at 60.75. Yeah, so we've only been in this trade a little under 10 minutes, and I do like to see my first objectives get hit in about 10 minutes time. So if this doesn't actually fill us here on this for this first half of the position on this bar or the next bar, I will exit.
Order filled.
Okay, well there we do the exit. So what I'll do now is I will change this down to the remaining contracts, which right now is 4. So I've got 4 contracts left on that, and I'll leave it at break even for now. You can see that we do have this sell limit in here at 62.75, which is just a couple of ticks below that stop. So that's looking good. And the dip that we had here when the market came up and formed this high velocity move, which is in this light blue background, as you can see here, it had a little dip down to here at 59.50. So I'm going to just bump my stop up now to 59, just a couple of ticks below that on this second half of the position. And hopefully we can get up there and reach that second objective of 62.75. So the video's getting close to 10 minutes here, so I think what I will do is, okay, I was going to pause the video, but we just ended up by forming one of our level 2 buying bars, which are pretty powerful. So level 2 buying bar, I don't want its low to get taken out by much. It has probed up and made a new high here, so that's good. I've got my stop a couple of ticks below here, so I'm locking in 3 ticks of profit on the second half of the position. And the other markets are looking pretty strong here too. So I think I'll just go ahead and let that. I'll just leave that stop for now, and I'll restart the video here in a few minutes whenever the market dictates. Okay, I've started the video back up a few minutes later here. It did dip down to 60, as you can see. Kept us in the market. Our stop's still at 59. Now it's back up there, just touched on 62. So hopefully you can get a little bit more follow through here and reach that second objective. So I just thought I would quickly play the video here, or restart the video, or the recording, I should say, while we're getting up fairly close to it. And we will, I don't want the video to be, really, really long, so that's why I'm cutting it off here and restarting and so forth. So anyway, just that's where we're at right now, and I'll put it back on pause. Okay, just stop that for a minute. Here's the top of that level 2 buying bar. So I had really good buying there, and oftentimes the market will react off of that and pull in. It did, not by much. It only dipped into our high velocity area here on this little dip down to 60. So and now we've gone along and we've actually here's the high here at 62 and a quarter. We just hit 62.50. So the buying that took it up there is looking like it's pretty good buying, because the market did not fall off very much, and we're very, very close. We just came within a tick here of our objective. So I'm going to go ahead now and adjust the stop, not by a lot, but that last dip was at 60. So I'll go ahead and tighten it up a little bit there. I'm going to put it at 59.75. And so that'll lock in a point and a half here on the final half, or the second half of the position, should it turn around now and come down. But having just gotten it within a tick of our objective here, as I said earlier, I know I'm trying to squeeze it out here quite a bit. That target's right here at 63.25, and I got my limit at 62.75. So I'm trying to squeeze it out pretty good, but we'll just see how that plays out. And at least now we've been able to adjust our stop and been able to lock in some good profits on that too. So I'll go ahead once again and pause the video, the recording. Okay,
Order
I
filled.
the video here. Okay, we just got filled. So I will go ahead. Now we're just down to 2 contracts. So I will go ahead and make an adjustment here on this and bring that down to 2. And I'm going to put that just a tick below that last little dip right there. So 59.75. I went ahead and made this just thinking that it might get stopped out, but I can go ahead and change that. Okay, I just went ahead and made the adjustment there on how the trade is unfolded, at least so far. We made 2.5 points on the first half of the position, which was 4 contracts, so that was a total of 10 points right here. The second objective that we just hit there was for 4.5 points, because we entered long at 58.25. We just exited right here at 62.75. So that's 4.5 points on 2 contracts for a total of 9 points. So you add up those 19 points, it's $950 so far. So now we've got this other stop in here too, which will lock us in another 2.25 points. So maybe we can get a little bit more of a rally here and you know, have a real nice day. So at that point, now that we're up to date again, I will go ahead and pause the video, and when something else develops, I will restart it. So as I said, we entered this trade just after 11 o'clock, about 10 after, and it's about quarter till, so a little over half an hour so far. Okay, restarted the video here, the recording. The market has moved above that 63.25 resistance barrier, which is a good sign. And I've left the stop here for the time being. It could just be poking its head up there and come in, but the market is looking good, and the other markets are also, the other stock indices are looking pretty good too. The Russell has kind of been leading the way today, and it's on its highs, and also the mini Dow has also just made new highs as well. So I'm going to go ahead now. I've just done a little calculation for you. If the market should turn around and get us stopped out, this would be the result of the trade on these 8 contracts. But I think what I will do now is go ahead and protect this final position a little bit more. So this really good buying, it looks like, started with this right at the low here of this bar, which is a level 1 buying bar, and as you can see, every bar since then has had an equal or higher low, so it's looking pretty good, and it's gone above this this potential barrier as well. So I think I'd be wise to go ahead and at least move that stop up. I think I'll move it up to just 1 tick below the low of this bar right here. The low of this bar, this buying bar here, it's at 61.50. This bar right here, so that's at 61.50. I'll raise this up to 61.25. Okay, so that'll lock in the 3 points now on this final partial. So that's good. So we'll just see how that pans out, and we'll restart the recording here as the market unfolds when we get a new development. Okay, I've restarted the video here. You can see that the market has moved nicely above that 63.25 level. We've got a nice level 3 buying bar. It's a strong buying bar, this blue bar here. So that little dip that we had right here just below the 63.25, I'll go ahead and going to raise that stop and put it just a couple of ticks below the 63.25 price, and just 1 tick below that little dip. So the stop now at 62.75 on the final 2 contracts out of this particular trade. So things are moving along, and things are moving up nicely, so that's good to see. And we'll see if the market can continue to move higher and get a really good trade out of this. There's certainly that potential. See if this level here can continue to act as support, which is obviously what we'd want to see. Oftentimes when these good buying bars come in, as the previous one here we talked about a few minutes ago, that was a level 2 buying bar, which did come in a little bit. We would expect this to come in, but not as much, and the reason, of course, being is that this is the 63.25 barrier. So we will just leave it at that again, and I will stop the video now and restart it as the market dictates. Okay, just restarted the video here again. You can see here it's hovering just above that 63.25 area. It's just come down now and touched it, and our stop, of course, is just 2 ticks below there. So it could very well come in and stop us, and then turn around and keep going. But I wanted to keep this stop fairly close, pretty tight stop here, in the sense that it's just 2 ticks below that barrier at 63.25, and just 1 tick below that that little dip that we had just over in here. So I just wanted to restart the recording here just to kind of bring you up to speed. We've been in this trade for over an hour now, so it's done us well. I've got a little recap of the trade right in here. This is where obviously we were initially long from 58.25. We exited half the position for a 2.5 point gain, and then 1/4 of the position for a 4.5 point gain. And as it turns out here, if we do get stopped on this, it would be another 4.5 point gain on the final 1/4 of the position, or the final two contracts. So all in all, it's even if getting stopped out here, it's turned out to be a nice trade. The total of 28 points, which is $1,400. So the market here is, today's range, for example, so far has been around approximately 10, 11 points compared to yesterday when we had a range of, I think it was about 25 or something like that. 21, I'm sorry, 20, yeah, it was 30. It was over 30, that's right. Yeah, it was about 33 points, just a huge, huge day yesterday. But still, even today, with the 10, 11 point range, an 11 point range is not always going to give us a good opportunity. We had, I think, the good opportunity today because of the lack of follow through overnight. We did have a little bit, but not much, and then the market turned around and rallied up off of that low a considerable distance, because that low yesterday was down around 45, and we had rallied up and we're trading earlier today in the 58 area, so that's about 15 points, and then it kind of seesawed back and forth there early, tried to move lower, and as I was saying in the trade setup, when it did try and move lower during this time period, it bounced up, had another attempt at moving lower, but then this time when it moved up, it did so with one of our level 1 buying bars, thinking that potentially that could be the end of this sell-off. It hadn't yet confirmed that until the market came down and formed this level 1 selling bar, and as I was saying earlier in the video, that was a very important bar from my way of thinking, because leading up to the action just prior to that, thinking that it was the market was not doing a good job at selling off, and it was looking like it was trying to get back up above this barrier here, which is approximately the 58 area, and if it could get back above that, then it's looking pretty good. So just waited to see if these lower prices could get rejected. This little bar here, this level 1 selling bar, is beautiful attempt to go lower that did get rejected. You can see its high was taken out immediately, and then the high, this little move up here, was taken out, and as soon as it was taken out, that's when I put the limit order in, one tick above the high of this barrier, and so that's what we got filled right here. That's almost it's about an hour and 5 minutes ago, and that's why you can still see that we're long the final 1/4 of the position at 58.25. So the market has come in here, hasn't yet at least been able to stop us. So I will go ahead once again and pause this recording, and we'll pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, just started the recording back up again. You can see that the market is having a tough time going higher. You can see here that let's take a look at what has transpired since we had this nice level 3 buying bar, this blue bar right here. It made the high here, came down, tested the low, came up, tested the high within one tick, came down and tested that same area here. When it hit here, rallied back up, but could not take out the previous high, and now we actually took out that earlier low just by a tick and rested right on the support at 63.25. Took another bounce, but once again, in this case, we ended up with a lower high. So we got a series of lower highs here, and actually slightly lower lows too, equal or lower. So it's not looking too good for our long trade at the moment, and certainly would not surprise me if we do get stopped on this trade fairly quickly. But we do, I think, have a good place for our stop in here, and if some good buying does decide to come in, then we're going to be on board. Otherwise, it's been a really nice trade. Just the results of the trade are down here, uh, and so happy with that, obviously. So 58.25 is where we're long from, and the stop's at 62.75. So that's our 4.5 points. And as it turned out, that was our exit place on the second our second objective, which was 1/4 of our position. That was 2 ticks below the barrier. Market's traded above the barrier and is held above it, and that's why we've got our stop 2 ticks on the other side of it, just below that barrier. So we'll just go ahead and put it on pause and see what can transpire here for the next few minutes. Okay, restarted up here. You can see we've come down within just a tick now of getting stopped, and it certainly does look like we're likely to get stopped here in just a moment. But so wanted to fire up the recording again just to see if that does occur. Just want to make sure we're on top of the trade here and showing you exactly what we're doing. So don't really have anything else to say in regards to this trade. I mean, the market here, when it did go down and make that dip below the 41 area in the overnight session, that was a very important area for us, and we knew that if it could hold below that, it would be very, very bearish. And it only dipped for a very short period of time in the early going of the overnight session, and then turned higher. And that also, I think, was a contributing factor here in wanting to go ahead and make this trade. So as you can see, that little dip there just came down, and it gave us one of these bars right here, which you can see that that's a triangle and a dot, and in our terminology that refers to a deceleration of the selling, and a bar at the same time that, even though it was a selling bar in the sense that it took out its previous bar's low, it actually had more buying in it. So that's a nice bullish sign. So if that little dip can hold up, it's obviously very good for us. So as it turns out, our stop is in a really good place here, not surprisingly, but even better so now because of this little dip. So our stop is just 1 tick below the low of that bar, and things are looking pretty good again. So I will go ahead and once again and pause the video and restart it as the market dictates. Okay, restarted the recording here again. You can see that after that little thrust of buying that we had, where the market went up here and actually made a new high, 1 tick new high compared to the high that was formed in that nice level 3 blue buying bar. So went up, made a new high, came back down here and kind of tested in here a little bit, and now we're right back up to the highs. So what I think I will do is this little dip that we had right here at 63.75, I'm going to go ahead and raise the stop up a couple ticks from there. So I'm going to raise it up to 63.25 at this time, and just see how it goes. We've been in this trade, gosh, it's been for almost 2 hours, a little under 2 hours, about an hour and 45 minutes. So the trade is looking good, obviously, and want to just keep it in there and see what we can do with it. So it's making new highs now. So I don't think there's any reason to kind of change this. We'll just I'll keep pausing the recording and restarting it as the market dictates. But for now, we've got our stop in here at 63.25 with the entry at 58.25. So we've locked in the 5 points on that. So okay, I'll pause it now, and we'll get started again as needed. Okay, I've started this back up just a minute later. The next level objective is 68.50. So what I think I will do here is just move this over a little bit so we can get a just adjust this a little bit here. I will go ahead, I'm going to exit this trade at 68, so I'm going to put a sell limit for the final two at
Order pending.
68 even. And that'll bring us up from 58 and a quarter to 68, 9 3/4 points. So that's who knows? It may even continue to go higher than that. I mean, who knows? It might not even make it up there. But that's the target objective that I am going to put on this trade for today. It's been a good trade, and we'll just see what can happen here. It's okay. Just got within a tick of it, so looks like it just might want to get up there and hit our 68 and end up with a good trade. I've got our results down here so you can follow along. This last one here is 5 points each if the market were to go to 63 and a quarter, but it looks like it wants to go all the way up, and okay, it just hit our price there, so who knows, maybe we can get filled at 68, and that would obviously change our result on this. But I think what I will do in the meantime is adjust this stop and just bring it up to here, just 2 ticks below the low of this buying level 2 aggression bar, and so that'll from 58 to 64, that'll give us 6.5 points on that final partial should it turn around. I do have a tendency to try and squeeze maybe sometimes too much. Okay, it just came up there and gave us a deceleration bar, so that's actually not a good sign. It probably means the market is topping out. So I think what I will do on this trade is just bring this down and exit this trade. 68 and 50 is the objective. Don't need to get too greedy on this. It's been a great trade. So I'm just going to go ahead and exit this and drop this limit order down to 67.75. Just give it a moment, see if we can get filled on that. Okay, it doesn't look like it wants to go, so I'm going to have to bring this down again.
Order filled.
Okay, and there we are. It just got filled at 68. I'm sorry, 67.50. So I'll cancel this.
Order canceled.
So 67.50 from our 58 and a quarter is 9 and a quarter. So I can adjust this to 9.25. So that's 18 and a half. So 18.5 on that will give us, let's see, 28 and a half, 29 and a half, sorry, 10, 20, yeah, 28 and a half, 38 and a half, 37, so 38. That'll give us a total, let's see, well, if it was 40, it would be 2,000, so be 1,900. So, so that turned out to be a nice trade. Who knows, it could keep going higher, but we had good reasons to make that trade. It went obviously in our favor right away because of that nice rejection bar, and then once it held above the support here at 63.25, we were able to manage that trade and then get out near the objective. So okay, so there's how the trade actually ended out. I had it 18.5 points on that final trade, but it was actually 19. 2 times 9.5. So, at any rate, it turned out to be a great trade, and I think something that was, fairly straightforward. because of the intraday up auction not being violated in the early going in the overnight session, and then getting good rejection of the lower prices as the market tried to extend the range lower early in the day. So, anyway, that's a trade from Day Trade the Markets. This is Dave Johnson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.